presentation is prepared by Beulah, Charlie, and Muskan, Nara, Siddharth, and Paul. And each of will cover different aspects in Walmart strategy and operational in Brazil. And this introduction, this presentation explores Walmart's entry into Brazil, focusing on its strategy, challenges, and future opportunities. We will discuss why Walmart expanded into emerging market, in the challenges it faced its market entry, choices, key operational issues, and its alliance with AOL, and potential future growth in South America. Next is continued by you.
I will introduce about Walmart. Sam Morgan entered the retail business through a small store in Newport, Arkansas, in 1945 as a variety store franchise. 6 years later, Walton decided to open his own store with the name Walmart 5 and then. Over time, it expanded rapidly, become one of the world's largest retailers. By 2002, Walmart operated 4,395 stores worldwide, located in the United States, Mexico, the United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, with a population of overall 170 million. Brazil represents a major opportunity for Walmart's international goal. For the first question, which factor encourage Walmart to enter emerging markets such as Brazil? Walmart's expansion to Brazil's other emerging markets was driven by several key factors. One, economic sustainability and growth potential. In 1994, Brazil implemented the real plan, which successfully reduced inflation from 40% to 3%, increasing consumer purchasing power, with an estimated economic growth rate of 4.2% in 2000 and record 30 billion in foreign direct investment. Brazil became an attractive destination of multinational companies. 2. Largest expanding consumer market, with a population of over 170 million, Brazil holding a massive customer base for Walmart's expansion. The rising middle class increased demands of modern retail experience, aligning with the Walmart's cost-effective and large-scale retail model. 3. Competitive expansion strategy. After successful expansions in Mexico and Canada, Brazil was a logical next step in Walmart's Latin American strategy. Walmart sought to strengthen its global presence and diversify its revenue source beyond the U.S. market. Walmart aimed to expand its global presence and reduce its reliance on the U.S. market by diversifying its revenue streams. By entering emerging markets like Brazil, Walmart was able to access new opportunities for long-term growth, increasing its dependence on the U.S. for revenues. 4. Strategic partnership and market entry flexibility. Walmart entered Brazil through a partnership with Lojas Americanas, as well as with local retailers with proven access to the local expertise, supplier network, and customer insights. These entry modes reduce initial risk and help Walmart adapt its operation to Brazilian market. Favorable market condition of foreigners retail. The Brazilian government encouraged foreign investments, and Walmart saw an opportunity to establish itself before other global retailers expand aggressively.
So the main reasons, right? You can also do a small summary, right, of the main reasons for expansion. into emerging market of Brazil was, as I heard from you, the large market potential due to the huge population, 170 million people, right, living in Brazil. Regional expansion, yeah, because they have ventured into Canada and Mexico already, right? Central America, right? So the logical next step would be to focus on another big emerging market, right? Further south. Okay, so they started in Brazil, right? Yeah. So main reasons, right? Yes. Okay.
So next we focus on just of emerging market environment and also answer what challenges and threats of emerging market affected Walmart's operation and strategy when Walmart entered Brazil, the big emerging market. So first, what are just emerging markets? Emerging markets often have strong growth rates. Like I put a picture here, that is the GDP the GDP of Vietnam from 1986, when we have the economic transformation reform with đổi mới in 1986, and we have gradually increased the GDP of our country like stable at 6 to 8%. And next trade, emerging market often lead the economic regional economic drivers. Like for example, in the past to now, like Chinese as the big emerging markets, they also export a lot of goods to Southeast Asia and also import a lot of the large value of products from Southeast Asia countries. So we can see a picture here from is in Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia also have large amount of export and import values. And next, but emerging market environment also have some disadvantage for international company want to enter. That is one trade is a volatile and instability, because like emerging markets, they have immature security stock, so they rely on the temporary investment from international company and also other country, and also they rely on export so much to develop country. So if there is some economic shock, for example, like Black Swan happen, so their temporary money from security stock of the country also come back, and also their amount of export product was reduced, and also the emerging market have weak and less developed finance system, so they are vulnerable to the economic shock. And the last one, I want to talk about the lack of business resource of emerging markets. For example, like Vietnam, when Honda or Foxconn of Taiwan come to Vietnam and set up the factory, and also they have to find out, for example, like Honda, they have to find out the suitable raw material from suppliers in Vietnam. But like the suppliers in Vietnam, they lag behind the supplier from Japan, for example, and also a lot of other business resource like human resource, like potential human resource. Also, they have to find out and they have to adapt to the business environment in Vietnam. So next, I answer the question, challenge affected Walmart's strategy and operation. Walmart, when they entering Brazil, the significant programs of economic reform have an integral part impact to Walmart operation and strategy. For example, foreign direct investment policy in 1991 helped Walmart have more suitable conditions to easier to enter Brazil with suitable policies for international cooperation when they want to expand and operate in Brazil.
For example, FDI policy could concern the percentage of ownership, that foreign investors can hold in Brazil, right? Maybe majority ownership, right? Which could have been prohibited in the past, right? And that could have been loosened, right? 1991. What's the real plan? Real is the local currency, right?
Yeah.
The name of the local currency, okay?
The real plan in 1994 helped Brazil to stabilize their currency. For example, like the beginning of 1994, Brazil had 40% of inflation, and at the end of 1994, they lowered down the inflation to just 3%, and it's also created a good condition for Walmart to operate in Brazil's more stable with the market. But for example, like floated currency in 1999 when we have finance crisis, and Brazil had to float their currency, so it's also raised to 8%. So before the real plan, and Brazil was really instability, but like after real plan, it's also just like lower down, but it's not really stable for international company to operate and have their stable producing cost and also operation cost. So you can see the inflation from 40% in 1994 to 3% in the late of 1994, and also 8.5% in 1999. It lifting up the energy price and logistic and supply chain management cost, and affecting the operational activities and price of Walmart. And Brazil, when they enter the potential market and also high growth rates as Brazil, but they have to face up the high competitive landscape because the retail industry in Brazil is the large market where have several players dominate the market from 50 to 80%. For example, we have Carrefour and also the Brazil local retailers, and they already dominate the market about 80%. So Walmart have have high barriers to entry, and it's so because Walmart have to use their huge capital to set up everything and compare with giant players in the market. And these companies have advantages in supply chains, government relations, and customer loyalty.
Okay,
Of course.
I just Googled, right? Sorry. Yeah, so Carrefour is the early mover, or first mover, right, into Brazil.
Yeah.
And it's still the number one
Yeah.
retailer in Brazil now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these companies have their government relations because they operate in the country for like 20 years. For example, Carrefour, and also customer loyalty. They operate in Brazil and they have to understand the customer behavior and also the local market, what the customer needs. That why, for example, like Walmart, when they operate in Brazil, they just sell 25% of amount of food products in their super center. But the Brazil market, they often consume about 50 to 60% amount of foods in the supermarket. So it's also one of disadvantages for Walmart operations. And Walmart have low bargaining power with suppliers and manufacturers. Of course, because Carrefour and local retailer in Brazil, they already have good relationship with suppliers, with good cost of products. And but Walmart have the strategy of low price, everyday low price, and Walmart continuously lower the price of product, and it costs to this company want to also lower the price their product, so create the price wars, and also this company also force the local suppliers in Brazil because Walmart just lower the price and it's not fair for the general market, retail market, and the concentration of market share in a few companies cause price wars to occur continuously and forcing Walmart to adjust this pricing strategy and reduce profit margins to compete.
So overall, the market structure was an oligopolistic market structure,
Yeah,
right? So you
that's
have a handful of players competing against each other. Number one is Carrefour, then you have Walmart, and then who are the local brands? What are the local brands? Sendas? What's that? Which one is the largest local brand? And which one you just mentioned? The Walmart joint venture with a local brand. Which one?
Lotus Americans.
Huh?
Lotus Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Walmart partnered with when they entered.
Okay, so that's one of the locals, right?
Yes.
This one.
This one. It's called what? PDA?
Yeah.
PDA, yeah. Is it a small player or a large player?
Yeah. Look, no, they are the big player because but they're
Yeah, but then if they team up with the big local player, the local brand could help out here, isn't it? With you said Walmart has low bargaining power, they don't have the relationships because Carrefour, moved in early, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Early mover advantage, first mover advantage. But if Walmart chose to cooperate with PDA, right, they should compensate this weakness, isn't it? They should have been able to compensate, isn't it? Yeah, to make up, some of those deficiencies.